I knew that then. And I could see the results. I could see the end results because there were officers in their senior year. There were officers that were company commanders. There were battalion commanders, such as what you were. So there were objectives and goals that I could achieve, and I was going to sustain myself. So I think I did a lot of consultation with myself. There were a few people that I was somewhat close with, cadets I was somewhat close with there at the school. To help me go through those years and go through those days and go through that time. But I survived it. We survived it. We were a survivor. But you're absolutely correct about what we were exposed to. We had to make it or break it, so to speak. Either you were going to comply and deal with what was going on, with perhaps the expectation that one day you would be able to do this. But it was not necessarily seeking a position to be because I could beat somebody up. It was developing myself with my leadership skills and trying to help those come up through the ranks. And that was the premise.
Let me bring you around to PT because I want to stay focused. Logically,
yes,
in terms of chronological reference, I want to stay focused on you arriving at the campus and in between the time that you first arrived and Thanksgiving. We probably won't be able to do that during the course of these initial tracks, but at some point we'll get you up to Thanksgiving and the parade at that time when the parents were there and you were accepted formally into the Cadet Corps. However, what is a PT to a new recruit coming to the campus? What does that mean?
Okay, now PT, in my recollection, was what was referred to as punishment tours. And a punishment tour was one walk around the circumference of the area of the campus. And I as well as I remember, one PT was one walk around the area of the campus. And I never received a PT, but I knew about those PT. And I believe we carried in one rifle. We carried the rifle with us. I believe
Yes, thank you. That's what I was waiting for. We carried that 9.5 that 9.5 air-cooled semi-automatic weapon, assault weapon.
Yeah.
We carried that around the campus. And who issued the PT to you?
Wasn't that my father, Figaro? I don't recall.
Yeah, it really was. But remember now, and this is the reason why this podcast is so good, because there's so many small details. Your non-com or your commissioned officer issued that PT to you. They did.
Okay.
And it went through Father Figaro. And you were assessed that PT. So if you had a minor infringement, you might get 1 or 2 PTs. If you had a major infringement, something that really violated the 10 codes of command, military command, or something concerning the security of the campus, or some behavior that was entirely contrary to our codes as military cadets, then you got even more. And each one of those PTs resulted in 1 hour of marching. However, it could be made to be even more difficult than 1 hour, because instead of having that assault weapon on your shoulder, you may have to have it at port arms and jogging around.
And sometimes it was double time.
That's exactly right. Double timing around the campus. That's correct. Yeah. And that black top during Virginia hot weather was not just 90 degrees. It was 110.
It was hot. It was soft. You know what? It was soft.
That's exactly. It would get soft. No question about it. And I am, Eugene, I am going to go into additional areas of the disciplinary factor, but I still want to get back to you getting back on campus. When did you know that you were in any kind of company, or where you would be sleeping, where your dormitory was. When did that happen when you first arrived at the academy?
Okay, now you're searching my memory, and I want to say that we were notified and told that day. I'm trying to remember. I know we had to disrobe out of our civilian clothes, and we were given our uniforms. It's really almost vague as to when we were how sleeping arrangements were made. It's you may have to help me with that yourself.
Let me do that. Let me do that, brother. Let me do that.
I don't really. It's vague. So
I know.
Let's go ahead on.
It's so much time, Eugene, that's gone by that the specifics involved in that experience elude most people. So the thing about it is that from the moment that you got off the bus, you were being directed and controlled. That's why you probably don't remember much of it, because it was not a conscious decision that you were making. You were told specifically what to do, when to do it, how to do it, and where to do it all of the time. Let me take you back. Okay. So this will jog your memory. The moment that my parents left St. Emma Military Academy, as they were pulling off the parade ground, I knew I was in trouble. And because I knew I could see those non-coms shaking their heads and wringing their hands together and whatnot, like, oh, good, they're gone. Now we're going to go get him. And after they got me and shaved my head and beat my ass and threw me in a locker for an hour, then from that point on, everything that I did was and I remember all they did, and you may remember this, Eugene, was scream at me. Yes. God, yes. They never spoke to me in civil voices. They always screamed directly in my face, spittle coming all over me from them screaming at me all the time, because I had no worth. I was less than dirt. I was a piece of, and I remember them saying this, the fellas from the South, I was a piece of Philadelphia shit that just so happened to land on their property, and they were going to clean me up.